What's up, guys? My name's Liv, and welcome to True Genre Sports. Today, we're going to be ranking every F1 driver of the 2021 season based on their performance. It was a pretty crazy season, especially towards the end, and we had some interesting polls, interesting podiums. It was honestly a wild season, one of the best that I've seen in my few years of watching F1. So let's rank these drivers. What better way to do that than a classic tier list? So let's jump right into it. So here on our tier list, we have 5 tiers. We have the top tier, which is another level. Like, they were just there the whole season, just far away from everybody else. Then we got awesome, so that's kind of like if they exceeded more than what was expected of them, and they just did a great job all year. And we got consistent for those that we're just kind of always in the same kinds of spots. Then we have needs improvement for those that are kind of lacking where they should be at this point. And then we got get them off the grid. Like, they're just not really up to the rest of them. And they shouldn't be there. Starting us off, we got Valtteri Bottas. And he was probably one of the best wingmen that someone could ask for. Like, this was his last season at Mercedes, and I think he did a great job to set Lewis up for success. He was honestly on the podium a lot. He did get a win this year. So I'm going to say that he was very consistent. I would say he's probably a really good driver, so he could be on the awesome category, but he was never really there. So you know what? Yeah, we're going to put him on awesome because he's still consistent. He has that consistent category, but he was a really good driver this year. And it was fun to watch him in that Mercedes. And I wish him the best at Alfa. Now, next we have Nikita Mazepin. Now, Mazepin was always last, and I kind of feel bad for him because Haas didn't do anything with their car this year. So it's kind of hard to really tell. I don't want to put him on get him off the grid. I know a lot of people don't like him. He had a lot of issues off the track this year that I definitely don't agree with. And I am not sure if he's really up to the level as everyone else. But I'm going to say needs improvement because I need to see how that Haas car is next year with the new regulations to really see if he needs to get out or not. And we got Antonio Giovinazzi. He's already off the grid, so we're definitely not putting him there. But if he were on the grid for next year, I would have said he needed improvement as well. I mean, he got into Q3 a few times, qualified in a good position to get points. He just could not stay there. Either he had bad luck or he just did not have the pace as other cars and was just overtaken and did not really score that many points this year. We got Sebastian Vettel. Sebastian Vettel was doing pretty great at the start of this season, and then kind of just fell off. I don't really know. Maybe it was the car. It just was not there. Like, with the other midfield cars, it really fell off. So I'm going to say that he was probably consistent. I mean, he did as good as he probably could. He did score a lot of points for Aston Martin this year. It just was not enough to beat Alpine or AlphaTauri. So, he did as good as he could. And then we got Carlos Sainz. Carlos Sainz, I don't know. He's either going to be on awesome or on another level because, I mean, he did so much this year, and he did a lot more than I think anybody expected him going to Ferrari. I think I'm going to put him in awesome because he definitely exceeded expectations. Coming into this season at Ferrari, could have gone either or. A lot of people were looking forward to Charles, thinking that he was going to be the number one driver of the team, but I think that Carlos really stepped up and showed that he could be the number one driver for Ferrari coming into next year. He's really challenging both McLaren and his own teammate. So yeah, I think he did a fantastic job. And he was on awesome. Speaking of his teammate, Charles. But yeah, we got Charles right here. I would say that Charles was consistent for most of the season. He did have some pretty good results. Qualified on pole for Monaco, but he wasn't able to race in Monaco because it damaged his car. And then also got pole for Baku, which he wasn't really able to do much. I think he got 4th place in that, even though he started first, but still not that bad. And he was also, a major help of them getting P3 in the constructors this year. So I think he's very consistent. He's just not on that top tier level. I think with Carlos getting, 4 podiums, he deserves to be in that second level, and Charles is just not there yet. I'm going to see how he does next year. Hopefully he does, a lot better than he did, but I think he did a good job. Next we got Danny Rick. I love Danny Rick. I'm a big McLaren fan, so I really want to put him high up on the list. I know he got that win in Monza. I was super excited, but I gotta be honest, he needs improvement. He does. I think that he did a good job, like a good enough job that they were able to get P4, but at the start of the season, he just was not there. And he definitely needs more time with that car. I think the McLaren car is notoriously hard to drive anyways. So I think him coming in and having to really switch up his driving style to fit the car, it was definitely a tough change for him coming to a new team. So yeah, definitely needs some more improvement, but I'm hoping that he can do well next year and maybe get a few podiums. We got Esteban Ocon. I would say that Esteban was very consistent this year with Alpine. He got that first in Hungary and then almost got a third place in, I think it was Saudi Arabia. He really should have gotten that third place over Valtteri, excuse me. But he was very consistent. I won't say that he was like up there with like Carlos and Valtteri, but I will say he's definitely a consistent driver. Then we got George Russell. I'm just putting him in awesome because even though he was not on the same level as maybe these guys, he's not scoring as many points as them, the way that he was able to carry that Williams this whole season was honestly astonishing. All right, getting into Q2, getting into Q3 a few times, almost getting a pole in a Williams at Spa. Insane. He was able to get second place because there wasn't a race at Spa. So he got points and a podium, got points at Hungary. I thought that was great. And I know that he's going to do great at Mercedes next year. So yeah, I would say that I'm just going to put him in awesome because just how much he was able and how far he was able to take that car. Honestly, it puts him above a lot of the drivers because that's just talent right there and you can see it. Now, we got Kimi Räikkönen. We're going to put him in the middle. Consistent is kind of like consistent/good. Like they're just always around that place. And Kimi did pretty much as best as he could in that car, to be honest. He did get some points. I think they finished 9th in the championship behind Williams because of those points, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, they did. He did okay. I know this was his last season. He probably really didn't care that much. But yeah, I just want to put him in consistent because he's already going to be off the grid. I don't want to put him down there. Then we got Lance Stroll. Lance Stroll needs some improvement, to be honest. I think that he did have some pretty strong showings. I would say that he was able to get into the top 10 a few times, and when he was on the pace, he did a pretty good job, but I don't think that he was better than Sebastian in that car. I really don't. I think maybe next year, with the new regulations, they could do a bit better. I'm not really sure. But yeah, he needs improvement for sure. Then we got Lando. Lando definitely was on, not on another level, but he did fantastic. I think the improvement from last year to this year was great. Scored 4 podiums, got a second place, which is his highest finish so far in F1. At Monza with the McLaren 1-2, that was pretty good. He was very consistent throughout most of the season, and towards the end of the season, he also fell off. But I think it was a mix of in just some places not having the pace, and also just having bad luck in the last few races. But he was, I think, in P4 either at Qatar or Saudi, and he got a puncture. And then also was in P4 at Abu Dhabi, which probably would have secured him, 5th place in the Drivers' Championship? It probably would have secured him 5th place. If he had finished P4, but he didn't because he also got a puncture. And he managed to recover to P7, which was impressive. But yeah, definitely fell off on the second half of the season. But still, that first half came out strong, did a really good job, so he definitely deserves to be in the awesome category. Then we got Lewis Hamilton. That one's easy. On another level, okay? Hamilton has always been on another level, okay? And he's the whole reason why this championship was as close as it was. For basically the whole season, it was just him and Max on their own level, doing whatever it took to get their wins. They got 8 wins this season, had I think 15 podiums, maybe more than that. I don't remember. I have to double check. But he got a lot of podiums this year. He got a lot of points. He was right there. And to be honest, if it wasn't for the safety car, he would have been an 8-time world champion. So on another level. Then we got the first time ever world champion, Max Verstappen. Definitely on another level. I don't know what happened to him between last year and this year, but he just came out and he was ready to win. And he was just winning races, won 10 of them. The last one that got him the Drivers' Championship, just did a really good job for Red Bull, took that car and just made it work for him. And yeah, just was up there with Lewis, which not a lot of people are. So it was really awesome to see. And I think he definitely deserves to be on another level. Then we got Checo. Checo was just the ultimate wingman. I mean, holding off Hamilton at Abu Dhabi was great. He had some really good outings. Got his first place at Baku, which was his second ever win after Verstappen's tire failure, but still got that win. Still was consistently in the points. At the start of the season was a little bit slower to get into like the top 3, but he was still within like the top 10 and the top 5 for a majority of the season, and got a lot of podiums, and that's really what helped Red Bull, at least for most of the season, stay within the Constructors' Championship, and really helped Max stay in the Drivers' Championship, because he also took away a lot of fastest laps in races where things weren't really going well for him, so they were just like, put on some softs, take away the fastest lap. He was able to do that. So yeah, really a team player, did an awesome job. Excited to see what he can do next year. Then we got Nicholas Latifi. He definitely needs improvement. I think that Nick did as good as a job as he could for Williams, but obviously not on the same level as George. I think that with enough time, maybe like another year, seeing as though the new regulations can shake things up, he could do better. And he could score points. I know that he definitely had pace, at least in Hungary, where he scored points, and he was really fighting for that. So I don't think that he's necessarily a bad driver. I just definitely think that he needs to find some sort of improvement if he wants to stay at Williams long term. Then we got Pierre Gasly. Gasly was consistent. If he had scored another podium, I know he scored 1 this year, but if he had scored another podium, I would have put him up here. But this guy is just always consistent, to be honest. Always within the top 5 or top 10, like always. And in the times that he didn't, he either DNF'd or had car issues. But other than that, he was really just up there, taking that AlphaTauri to heights that maybe it shouldn't see. I'm not sure. But yeah, did a fantastic job for AlphaTauri. And, I think if Yuki had performed a little bit better this year, they could have gotten I think it was P5 they were fighting for with Alpine. I think they could have gotten that. I don't think they did. I think they're P6 this year, which is their best finish, or tied with their best finish so far. Then we got Fernando Alonso, and this one's kind of hard. I'm going to put him in awesome, just because I think that he was also very consistent, and he had a lot of pace with the Alpine. In certain races, and he was fighting for points. And they might not have been in the top 5 often, but when they were up there. And I think that his podium in Qatar will show that, put him in a good car, he'll take it to where it can go. He'll get points, he'll get podiums. I think next year, if Alpine can add a little more oomph to their car, he could score even more podiums for them. So yeah, did a good job. I feel kind of bad. I know Esteban's like consistent and he's kind of in awesome, but to be honest, it was exciting to see Fernando back. And he finished within the top 10, I believe, in the Drivers' Championship, so that was good for him. Then we got Mick Schumacher. He definitely does need improvement, too. I'm going to be honest, I'm not going to put him in, like, good/consistent because he's also stuck in that Haas car that did nothing this year. And he did, I think, have, like, 1 or 2 Q2 appearances, but he mostly was still stuck in like 18th, 17th, whatever, 19th, like at the back of the grid because that car just could not take them anywhere. So I think that he's a good driver, but really what needs improvement isn't necessarily him, it's the car. The car is the problem for Haas. So if their strategy pans out where they're just researching all this stuff for the next season and they become the best car on the grid, then I think Schumacher will do well, but the car needs improvement, and so does he. Just needs some more time. But I think that this year, it was kind of a smart decision that if they weren't going to fix the car at all, to make it competitive, to just have their 2 rookie drivers just experience what it's like to be on a grid. Because coming into next season, they might not feel overwhelmed. And finally, we have Yuki Tsunoda, who, it's hard. I feel like I'm going to put him in consistent. I'm going to be honest. I'm not really sure. You know what? I'm going to put him in needs improvement. Yeah. I think that's better for him. I think that when he did have the pace and everything went well for him, that he was able to get into the places where the AlphaTauri should be at. But he was definitely way off compared to Pierre Gasly for most of the season. I will congratulate him, though, that he got P4 in Abu Dhabi, which was his best finish of the season, right at the end. So congrats to him, but he was just not there with Gasly for most of the season, and I think that cost them P5 in the constructors. So yeah, so this is my tier list of the 2021 F1 drivers. But yeah, let me know if you agree with me in the comments down below, or if you would rank this differently. To be honest, at first I was going off of performance, and then I kind of just went with how do I feel about them, how do I feel like they can do, and how do I feel like they did. And maybe a lot of people will disagree with that, but yeah, I feel like some of these drivers did really well. Some of them fell off throughout the season, and some of them just weren't there and just need to do better. But yeah, hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see y'all in the next one.